going on, Tamers? It's your boys, the host of the one, the only DigiPod, the digital podcast. Gino, how's it going?
Going pretty good. I'm still on spring break, so no work today, no work tomorrow. Haven't had to work. Chat, we record on Mondays, so I haven't worked since Thursday, and it's been wonderful. How's it going for you, Dan?
Must be nice, you know. I have off Friday at least, you know. That was a thing. Had off Friday.
You got a spring break, sort of.
Good Friday, whatever it's called, somewhat. But today we're back in the office, unfortunately.
I feel you.
And prior to recording, usually we record a little earlier, but basketball is back for me, and so back to working out, back to doing things like that, and so you thought I was gonna go somewhere else. anyways so I just want to know, just undefeated today, just like, you know, I try to be in locals. I still got it. I gotta teach the young kids nowadays how an old buck like me still can hoop, you know.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way at locals.
I mean, I have two things to talk about. I have an Evo Cup 2 to talk about as well.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about your experience. We talked about it a little bit, but not in depth.
Yep. So before we talk about locals, I we'll get to it, but I completely threw in the finals. I don't know what I was thinking. I had a major headache like throughout the whole day, so like that's not even like enough for me to be like,
this man's always.
I just didn't read Sean Greymon. I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not really a real excuse, but like I just know I remember having a headache. I'm just thinking like my head's just pounding, but like I refuse to read Sean Greymon because like I don't know why. I guess because I'm so used to Sean Greymon doing nothing after on Evo effects, and so that was like my issue. It wasn't even your match. I did that against all my rounds, forgetting that there's another effect on Sean Greymon. We'll get to that in a bit, but Evo Cup was pretty cool. So shout out to Sword in the Stone. They are our Wilkes-Barre locals. They're about like an hour plus from us. Probably, I think, from you as well. It's just kind of like that weird, funny triangle from where I am to you up to there is all like an hour length. This just PA. For anyone who knows PA, every city or every major city in like PA is like an hour distance from everywhere. It feels like
basically.
So
it's like an hour and a half for me, which is
so like
a little rough. Yeah.
So like if it wasn't like an hour plus, if it was like 45, 50 minutes, I would do it more consistently.
For sure.
Go up there and stuff and play. But it was an Evo Cup. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put on my calendar. I made sure to try to get up there because I kept saying for a minute I was gonna go up there. And every time I tried, something pop up. I was like, all right, we got to make sure we try to get there. So we did. Me and my boy went up there. And it was a nice solid. I think it was like 11 people for the Evo Cup. Not bad. They had 8001 product at a good price. So I also bought a box up there as well. I was like, I'll figure out support the locals as well because they ain't trying to do people dirty with them 8001 boxes, which we'll talk about after locals as well. It was pretty cool though. So I went up there with Millennium on. First round I played against if you know who he is in Discord, because he's a Digimon judge, and he's judging a lot more events. His Discord name I think is like the Dark Fiddler. Good guy, Spencer. His name is Spencer in real life, obviously. Shout out to him. Good player. He knows his rules. He knows everything about the game in that sense. Especially on like what's it called? On a more rules based thing, right? Because he's a judge and whatnot and knows rulings and stuff. So it's always good to have people like that local to you, so you can have those questions if you have them, especially if they're very knowledgeable about the game, which he is, which I appreciate. And I like to get his insight on things as well occasionally. But yeah, so play against him. Round one, he was playing Rocks. I was playing Millennium, like I think I mentioned before. Then I ended up winning 2-1. Game one, I got my shit rocked, right? He did his thing. I was slower out the gates than I needed to be. and he went to magnetic and GG basically at that point. Especially in a deck where you as magnetic, you're not scared of anything in security, unless there's a Chitosis past turn, but like you're not really scared of that either in that sense. So yeah, and again at game 2, I saw the pieces faster and went to Millennium on, did my thing. He was a little slower in magnetic, so because he was slower with the magnetic plays or getting to it, I was able to just keep him from not chipping my security, which is kind of important in that matchup. You want to try to stay as 5 as long as possible. You don't want them to give that chip damage because that sets up magnetic game basically. And so that ended up happening. And by the time he did get to magnetic, I was still at 5, so he couldn't close out the game. And then I went to Millennium shenanigans, DigiGuard, killed him, and like won after that. Game 3 was a little bit rougher for I think both of us, if I remember correctly. But I got Millennium out and more as a defensive way than an offensive way. And so he ended up getting into a magnetic, I think, and he hard played Pyramidi. Was that the one he hard played Pyramidi? He might have hard played Pyramidi.
Sheesh, for a lot.
No, that was game 2. My fault. No, that was game 2.
Okay.
That was game 2. He hard played Pyramidi. Game 2, he hard plays Pyramidi. I deal with it immediately, and then that's what I won. Game 3, he climbed up to Pyramidi, but he didn't have the magnetic, so he was able to like do things, if I remember correctly. And then after that, I dealt with that board, which there was a point where I got double Millie on board with like a Ghazi or something, but couldn't close that game. And so his turn, I gave him like 8 memory too for that play. And all he needed to do was out the board, and it was hard for him to do that. He outed 1. And when I realized what he was trying to do with the first one, I was like, oh, he got this. He can out my other Millennium as well, because what he did was raise the Son of Riz, I think it was, got into Landramon. He tucked the Programmon, so the one that says when you trash, you de-digivolve. Yep. So my whole thing, I was like, oh, I'm cooked, because he's just gonna keep looping that. And he didn't do that. He went into Progano, got rid of the blocker Millie, and then tries to swing with it and forgets that my other Millennium has a redirect underneath it. And I redirect because I was like, all right, you don't have no fragment. I might as well just redirect, call it a day. Yeah. And so I kill his Progano, and then that was basically all she wrote, because I don't think he still had like 5 memories, so maybe he could have built something. I just don't know if he would have had enough resources to get to at least a magnetic to deal with at least 1 body on board. And then whatever happens after that happens. But he ended up just scooping it from that point, because he was like, yeah, I goofed on that one. So I was like, all right, are you sure we can still play this out, because there's still game here left.
Right.
Just because like my setup wasn't the best setup either. But I knew I had enough where I could have, definitely cleared his board, maybe get him down to like 1 security or something, and then whatever happens. But doing that, round 2, I played against Medusa. I ended up winning down 2-0. Game 1, he starts out pretty strong. He gets to his Medusa play. He gets his Styraco. He puts me down to like 1 security, I think it is. And just because those security checks is what helped me get the pieces I needed in trash, I end up being able to do combo, deal with Styraco board, deal with, I think he's Owen as well with Moon. I don't remember that part, if I did or didn't. And then he had no comeback. And then I just won after that, basically. Game 2 was an awful game for him. I felt bad for him. He had the hard brick, and I'm just over here just chilling, building resources to the point where I can just play Millennium for 5. He still can't do anything because he bricked. What's worse about it is that his security and the things he trashed were like low 6s and 7s. So I go Millennium on, top deck your stuff, and now you're drawing those again. And so, oh no, because I hit them in security. That's what it was. And that's all she wrote at that point. Like after that, I just go 2 checks, clear, keep swinging. And he was just so bricked that it just didn't matter. Felt bad for him, because like it sucks to lose in that type of way when you just, there's nothing there's nothing you can do, and it's just like that type of situation. I don't know if he had the Rush Medusa. Maybe if he would have been able to just hard play the Rush Medusa, that might have helped, because Rush Medusa is dumb like that because it has rush. And then obviously end of attack, you go bottom deck something important in my trash, and then that could definitely F me up, but I don't know what his hand fully was.
It's kind of rough
And so
because she doesn't have an on play at all. So he has to wait until the end of attack. And if you have a redirect or something, then it just doesn't matter. So
exactly. So on that aspect, so quick 2-0 that became. Game 3, his Medusa brethren came out, and I reversed the second one of the day, and I ended up losing 0-2 on that one because game 1 I was slow out the gates. I know exactly what I need to start out in that type of matchup, and I just did not see them. You need a Chitose out as soon as possible so you can control your trash better, so that when they bottom deck your stuff, it doesn't hurt as bad. And when you don't see Chitose in that matchup, it's just really bad. And so not having that, not having the right pieces when I searched, because it's not like I started out with bad hand. It's just I didn't get to the pieces that I needed. And so he had a full combo. I think he put me down to 4, and then he just OTK'd me from 4. And that was all she wrote. Game 2 was a little bit better on my end, but it was still bad because I ended up finding Chitose. The issue was I never found Chimera or Machinedramon. That's 8 cards right there. Or if, in my case, that would be technically 9 cards in total because I have a different Chimera in the deck. And so never found those. So like I had the most awkward Millennium on assembly stack where I had like Shoutmon DX. I had a Deltamon in it, and I think I had a Gazi. It might have just been no, it was another Millennium on because you could put a Millennium on underneath it as well.
Right.
And so I was like, this does absolutely nothing. And when I go on deletion effect, I don't even do my on deletion effect because I needed to kill something on the board, I think it was. And I also kind of made a mistake forgetting that Medusa can just go on Evo pop bot deck, and then you lose out on your on deletion effects. So I left that on the board as defense because I'm like, oh yeah, you have to kill this. I get my effects, and then I kind of like mess up your board state. But it doesn't matter because you just go bottom deck and call it a day, which is a smart play. Whoever decides to do that, and he ended up doing that. I was like, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
And there was no descends either. I had no descends on board, so it's not like I could go, all right, I can at least go into another moon and then maybe interact with your Owen so you can't get an end of turn swing. But that didn't happen either. And so I just ended up getting cooked as well on that one. After a little back and forth, got cooked from it. And then round 4, I played against Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal is not a hard matchup from Millennium. No offense to the Heavy Metal player there. He knew exactly what he was doing for the most part. So it's not like he was misplaying or anything like that. It was just you're giving me resources for me to gain my memory really fast. So when I do my Millennium combo, I do the loop part. I go pop your things. I pop top deck as much stuff as possible. I basically guarantee 4 memory all the time. And so, and no real protection. That is for protection. But what Scapegoat doing when I keep popping, you're going to run out of bodies to pop. And so, not much Heavy Metal can do in that matchup, in my opinion.
And there are some important resources Heavy Metal needs in the trash, like the War Greymon, for example, is really nice to have in trash. And if you can just keep putting that back in the deck, that's really annoying for them.
Mm-hmm. And one of his things he was trying to do was go at the end of his turn, go into play the Yuki end of turn effect, where he can grab pieces so you keep it in his hand so they don't get top decked. But it just didn't matter.
Just not enough, yeah.
You're trashing your whole you're trashing your whole hand. You got a whole board set up anyways. I'm gonna get rid of stuff and I'm gonna get those pieces anyways to top deck. So it just doesn't matter per se. Not really sure what Heavy Metal can really do in that matchup too much. I think it's just one of those things where it's just like a bad matchup for them, period, in that aspect. But yeah, so I ended up getting second place. Cool. I got the Ragnarok cannon, I think it was, and whatever the participation stuff is. They also gave a pack of BT24. I pulled a SR, I think it was like a Venus mod or something like that. It's cool. At least another one to have. And then cool thing, I got $60 worth of store credit. That was pretty cool.
Ooh, baby.
I was definitely not
nice.
expecting the store credit. I expected, you know,
just the Evo Cup pricing.
If it's 11 people, then, you know, where the prize out is at. It sounds a lot more than the amount of people that was there for like prize out. I don't know, but hey, I'll take it. So whenever next time I go up there, or if I can try to buy another box or something like that for like $15 at that point, because it's just $60 of his store credit, you know, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of people up there are pretty cool. They were pretty welcoming of me stopping by, so especially since I'm not someone who's there on a regular basis. I know I chat with them a lot in their Discord, because they're always talking Digimon, which is kind of cool, and I enjoy that. So shout out to them. Great store. Great people there.
Yeah, we got a lot of fans up there. They always, whenever we come through, they're always like, "Oh, you're DGU Dan, you're DGU Gino." It's cool.
Something like that. Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, always cool to hang out with those guys. As for Sunday, we had our normal locals. I ended up winning. I got my narrative runs in the mail, so I decided I was going to play some puppets. I'm still missing one, actually. So I ran 3 narrative runs, but guess what? The deck's so good it doesn't matter. It is funny, though, because I'm on... The build I was on 3 trainings... or 2 trainings and a treadmill training. But because I don't have a narrative rond, I put another training and I have the normal art on it. So whenever I see that card in my hand, I'm like, you're supposed to be narrative rond. Like, so that's always funny. But deck's insane, as you guys know. From 1 memory, you can get into your mega and keep turn and do 4 checks. So you just... The deck is insane with the perfect setup, and without the perfect setup, it's still really crazy. Builds a huge board that's sometimes hard to break, especially if like you have to kill by play cost. It's like, cool, here's like 3 familiar tokens. How do you out that? Stuff like that. So round 1, I played against Sukuyamon. This guy's pretty new. He just started playing. He actually runs the tournaments. He's the shop guy. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to start playing. Let's get our numbers up for Bandai. You know, it just means that you have to play a standing matchup at the counter, which is funny. But had a good time. Played against him. He's, like I said, he's very new. So I'm kind of trying to teach him. Like, I'm like, oh, you know, you still have this trigger if you want to do it. So like he ended a turn on Taomon and then used the Amethyst Mandala, and I'm like, hey, you know, you still have this trigger if you want to end on a Sakuya. You don't have to, but you know, this is a trigger you still have. And he's like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I'll do that. But puppets, very easy to deal with Sakuya because DP Neg does not care about Amethyst Mandala. You can still trigger Amethyst Mandala, but you're still just dead. The red option to kill me doesn't do anything because I have Karakuru protection. And then also sometimes you just go super fast and OTK. I remember game 1. I didn't drop a single game at locals last night. So game 1, I remember that was really slow. And I got to a point where he was starting to build a threatening board. And I'm like, I'm not finding level 4s. So I just pushed my rookie, slammed Karakuru, and then went into my central that way. And then I was able to just keep board with it. Sometimes you got to do it that way. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it doesn't. But I was able to out his board thanks to it. And I just kept tempo from there. Once Central's on the field, if you don't out her immediately, it's basically game over. She's doing double checks at least. Especially if you have the stack so that you have the Nyaromon, so you can burn turn back with the Nyaromon egg. If they
that shit is so stupid that you could do that.
expect that card to go to 1 sometime in the near future, perhaps. Because
that ability, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Because I don't think they would hit like a narrative rond. If they're gonna hit, like, we'll see how good the deck does. Okay, we know that it's topping right now and it's doing pretty well. But if they decide to hit it, if they hit narrative rond, the deck's super slow, and it's like, why would they hit the promo card? I feel like you hit Mirai, the 3-cost Mirai, put her to 1. I don't know. We'll see. we got a ways to go. We just got a ban list. Enjoy puppets for while you can, because
that's August.
Yeah,
yep.
It's here to stay. It's here to stay for now. So, which is good for me because I've always been a puppets enjoyer. It feels good for the deck to be like actually very strong instead of just strong if you find all the pieces. Now it's just straight up strong. Round 2, I played against War Greymon OTK. It turns out puppets OTK is a lot faster than War Greymon. Game 1, I did the OTK on him just like real fast, and then game 2, his opening hand was 2 5s, a 6, and 2x antibody. And he was like, I think I just scoop here. And I'm like, well, play a couple turns and see what we draw. And I was drawing the nuts, and he was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. After the match, he was like, yeah, like I heard that puppets was pretty good, and then I saw the emblem was expensive, and he's like, but I wasn't really sure what it did. And he goes, and you showed me, and now I see. Now I get why that emblem's like $20+. And then round 3, I played against DGU Dan. Dan, why don't you talk about your run, and then we can reach our conclusion.
Sure. I was playing Sean. I got 8001 stuff. The only thing I'm missing right now is one more Marcus and Agumon. Unfortunately, they are hard to pull.
Do you even run that at 4 though?
What I've seen from the packs. Hell yeah, okay. That card is the most broken card in the deck now. Like, it just does so much.
Sure.
And with so many ways to play for free, it's not like you're ever really playing for the 5 cost. It's not a real 5 cost.
Right.
It's just, it's the only Marcus that allows you to draw, swing, and a turn, swing by itself, give itself rush, become 6k, and Evo something for basically free for the most part. Card's just cracked. That's to me the new 4 of the deck, and then you fix your ratios according to that. That's what I think, at least, from what I've seen with that card. And then the new Shine, broken, in the sense of what Shine can do, in the sense of what the deck is capable of now. I think it is arguably the best Shine Greymon we have in the game currently. I'm not talking about when we get the star decks, not talking about when we get the BT25. If there's another one, BT25, I doubt it, because we got the dual card version in the star decks. But it's a new best card in my opinion. It just does so much that the other cards doesn't, or like they're mixed, but like it's like they combine a couple shots together to be able to do this really strong Shine plays that you can do. Because first off, you use on Evo, you can play Marcus, and then you neg 3k for each Digimon and Tamers you have on your board until the end of your opponent's turn. That's the first Digimon in the Shine Greymon deck that has carry over DP neg. And then in today's game, that's so important. It's not even funny how important that is, because a lot of times Digimon's protections are to the end of your turn, which means your negs won't ever matter. And with that being able to carry over, then you can like auto kill at the start of their turn, which is important in today's game. And that's one hindrance in Shine Greymon. Like, for anyone that was trying to play within the last, couple formats, what's the biggest issue? Yeah, they got a Digimon that's unaffected by Digimon effects. My negs don't even matter. And so that was always an issue. And obviously there's other issues with Shine, just like super glass cannon, and that hasn't changed, but the glass cannon is at least a little bit more durable in what you can do now. So it's pretty cool. And Marcus and Agumon, if you're on it, you can do a double ruin mode turn. If you're running the multiple ruin modes, 4 ruin modes or whatever as your level 7s, you can make a double ruin mode, which is dumb as AF. I just don't want to do it, but maybe we'll see. I just enjoy burst mode, just OTKing someone with burst mode, and it's just always so fun to go into the burst. And so round 1 I played against Lucimon. Lucimon is just too slow for Shine at times. I don't know if he was misplaying or not, but his starts were pretty good. I just kind of outed him immediately because I just got neg him to 1 billion. and go, all right, I did 4 checks. Can you answer this? No, I win next turn. That's kind of basically what happened. Game 1, that happened. Game 2, I did a risky play where I raised super early with nothing going on with my hand. And it ended up paying off because I was able to kill his Lucamon on board. And then he had no other Lucamon. So he was kind of like stuck. And that paid off. And then I just kind of win the like next 2 turns or whatever it was it took. I never had the full OTK play where you go into like Shine, you go into the burst mode, and like you just keep swinging out with the markers. I never had it all tournament long, but I'm able to still like manage and be able to do damage, and then have a good setup, and then for the following turn still be able to like do more or like win or do something like that. So it's pretty. It can do a lot more now, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I've been testing a lot of Lucamon now that I'm no longer priced out of the deck thanks to AD01, which we'll talk about shortly. Yeah, that deck bricks like crazy. If you don't find like your level 3 Lucamon in your opening hand, there's like very little dig in the deck. Like you got to run like Analog Youth, or like your main searcher is one of those Lucamons which you would rather just have in your hand. It's very hard to get yourself out of a brick in that deck, and at that point your opponent just snowballs and just runs you over. And with Shine being like a really aggro punchy deck, it's just too fast because you're doing like maybe 1-2 actions per turn on Lucamon, and if they're chipping you for multiple damage and like getting out multiple tamers and stuff, that like, yeah, I can afford to lose a Marcus to this Lucamon effect. Like, I don't know.
The funniest interaction in that matchup is they go into like Lucamon or whatever, and they go, you know, pop your Digimon, pop your tamers, or like you trash security status, like, oh yeah, I'll kill my Marcus, recover Marcus.
Yep, it just goes right back.
It's so
in.
funny.
Yep.
And so, and then like that means they're going to have to give it to me because they're going to have to swing, because it's not like you can never win in that way. So it's just so funny when that happens. Obviously they can trash, but like the way the game was going, it was just so funny. I think I ended up getting the restricted to 1 Geo Greymon and getting that Marcus back out anyways. It was hilarious.
That's too funny.
It was just so funny, that like that interaction that happens.
Right.
So yeah, well, now on 2-0.
Stay tuned, chat. Hopefully I'll be able to give you a Lucamon locals soon.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play the deck, but I just never got around to it. Maybe one day. I think the Lord Nightmon gives the legs a lot more legs than it had previously.
The Dynasmon too is really good.
They're both really good.
I've been testing it a lot on DCGO, and Dynasmon like just clears boards like crazy out of nowhere. And then you just use it for your end of turn DNA, or end of turn evolution. It's funny, I have like a love-hate relationship with Lucamon. I love the level 3 and the level 7, but I think Chaos Mode is, I don't know, kind of just dumpy. Like, I don't know. I've never cared.
Paradise Lost, dog. Just Tombstone power driving people. It's the
like
greatest
so
move ever.
Cheesy. Like, I love it and hate it at the same time. I have this love-hate relationship. But I played Time Stranger, and Satan Mode was my goat. He got me through so much. In the very last fight, without spoiling anything, your guys all get de-digivolved down to babies. And because Lucamon only has 3 evolutions, I was in Satan Mode when all my other guys were still like champions or ultimates, because he just goes to Lucamon and then Chaos Mode and then Satan Mode. So that's neither here nor there. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail your locals, but
he broke the system on that one, you know.
It's true.
For that part of the game, that's probably the low-key tech in that situation.
Honestly, he was carrying. He was doing so much more damage than the other guys because he was already a level 7.
Yeah, for sure. That's so funny. But yeah, so ended up winning now in 2-0. Round 2, I played against Imperial Digimon. Imperial Digimon with the new stuff is really good. It's pretty good. It just has the same issues that Imperial Digimon will always have, which is, can I find my XVmon or Sigmon? Yes or no? Do I see it? Yes, I probably would. No, I just lose. And legitimately, that's basically what happened game 1 and 2. Game 1, he was able to go Primogenerate into a Pyogimon, which that Pyogimon went into, I think, Drag Mode, which went into the FM. I had to read the new FM like 5 times over, because I was like, I need to understand this all turns effect before I do things.
It's a good card.
Because I think I went into... after the first time it was on board, I evoed normal because I said, oh, by effects. All right, so let me not do the Marcus effect to evo. Let's do a regular evo first. And then he goes suspend. I was like, what do you mean suspend? I didn't evo by effects. And he's like, nah, that's part of the first effect. The second effect is the if evo by effect, then you do the pop or bottom deck, whatever it is. And I was like, ooh, okay, got it. So that happened. And then he put me down to 0 but couldn't close game. And then the following turn, I had a Agumon that makes a Marcus into a Digimon, and then double Evo Marcuses. He had 2 security, and I was like, "That FM suspended, right? There's no blocker on your board with a Pyojimon, right? No. All right, cool. Raise Agu, use Marcus for 1 cause, make it a Digimon, and then I use the Agumon to make the other Marcus into a Digimon. Swing out, swing, no effects, swing, no effect, swing game." I was like, yo, it was just so funny because I was able to out it just by not doing my effects. It was just so funny. In that situation. And he had because he kept stalling in the sense of, that's stalling, that's the wrong word I should say. I was swinging with the first Marcus, and he was like, all right, let me think about my play. I was like, what could you possibly think? Like, if you have it, you just have it, you just clear my board. And then he doesn't do it. First check goes through, nothing. Same thing with the second check. Then the third check, he goes blast into Paladin mode. I was like, at first I was like, wait, that bomb deck's everything. Why didn't you just do that before? And I realized it's not. It's on Evo. You just trashed the sources and then bomb deck the deck, and then when attacking affects the bomb deck. I was like, that's why you just didn't do it. Okay, got it. So I ended up getting that game 1. Game 2, he never found a Stingmon again. Didn't have a Primo generator, I don't think. And I just went shine combos and popped off and won.
Paladin mode is such a crazy card because it's like, it's either like the most crack shit ever or the worst card in your hand. Like, oh yeah, it either wins you the game like no contest out of nowhere, or it does nothing. There is no in between.
Oh yeah, especially if you're versing, like, let's say something that runs an Omnimon and you see the Omnimon trash. Oh, you're stealing time, right? Like, it's just so funny how. And then the following turn, you're just like, all right, bot deck, swing, unsuspend, bot deck, swing, unsuspend, and you just win out the game. It's very true in that aspect. Round 3. Let me get to, before we talk about round 3, because I'm so annoyed by myself. The whole, like I mentioned before, none of the games I used the all turns effect on the Shine Greymon. I did it in practice when we were playtesting because I wanted to see how it worked, the new stuff. And I was still learning different combos you could do. And I'm so, like, when it comes to Shine, I'm so wired to like BT21 or like BT20 or whatever. When the last Shine Greymon support came out, no matter what, your Shine Greymons just don't do anything per se besides your on Evo effects. Right. Strong on Evo effects. Not saying anything wrong. Like, your main shines, right? It's the BT12 one. On Evo, you neg something 3k for every tamer you have. You have your like
your Marcuses get
buff, but BT17 shine plays a tamer and it has protection, but like it never does anything for you besides that, really. You have the BT21 shine, really strong card, I think, in my opinion. Still a good card because it has like raid, I think it was 6 attack +1. And then on Evo, you neg 9 and then pop something or something like that. And then there's another part of the effect I'm not remembering. Strong card, but I'm just wired with that effect of like, all right, I use my effect and there's nothing else I need to do besides swing out on Marcus and just, bum rush.
Right.
And when it mattered most in this matchup, I just forgot.
What's the second part of the effect
that caused
that you kept skipping?
Anytime a tamer suspends, you pop something on your opponent's board with as much DP or less. So that 100% would matter because especially at that point when I had the game turn, I pop your last body and just win at that point. Right. So like Gino mentioned, he's running puppets. I'm running Sean. We get to the point of all of like 4 turns because we both kind of like popped off, and he put me down to like 0 security or 1 security, and I put him down to like 1 or 0 security already, or something like that. Yes. Because I hard play Agu, the Warper. Yeah. So I had an Agumon back. I put him already down to 1 security or 2 security, whatever it was. And he ends up leaving a board of like a Central, a rookie or a champion, and I think one token. I think it was 3 or 4 bodies. And so I didn't have a Digimon board. I was able to have, at that point, I raised the Aqua, I think it was, to make a Marcus into a Digimon. Cool. I have multiple swings potentially because I have the end of turn Marcus, which the Marcus and Agumon. So I knew I had game. I just needed to get there. And I asked him if there was any blocker. No blocker, or there was something with a blocker.
I had the ability to end an attack, I think, but that was it.
End an attack. That's what it was. Yeah, the end attack. And he told me about the end of the attack, and I forgot about it immediately. But the funniest part, like my whole place was like clear board, so he doesn't end an attack, but I don't clear board because I don't remember the goddamn effect. So I play Agumon that allows you to warp. This card is a lot better now with the new Shine Greymon. I feel like because of how good the Shine is, because you're still able to play a Marcus. So I go swing with Marcus, effect, go into that Shine, neg something to death, and then play another Marcus out. And it was not Mekimon because it had DP neg protection Central.
That's right, yeah.
Yep. And I had something else that had like DP neg on board, I think it was, or something like that. And I killed something else with the DP neg because it was like 3k worth of negging or something. And because I already had a shot. No, yeah, I ended up having double shine. That's what it was. Somehow ended up having double shine on board. I never used the all turns effect because I went to burst mode too on the first stack. Burst mode, play, trash a lot of security, or trash a security. I don't know if it was last.
I don't think it was the last
one.
No.
It might have been one left. That's what it was, one left. And then I go swing Marcus, trash the second to last, and then security goes through, and then I'm like, all right, I got game, swing. And then he goes, end of attack. I was like, fuck. Cause then I couldn't just go, wait, before you even do that pop, because he already made the declaration and I didn't make no declarations of kill that thing. And so I was like scrambling on what to do at this point. I was like, shit, I can't do anything, I guess. And so, not that I guess, I know, because I looked at it. I didn't even think about it at that moment. I was like, fuck. So I do whatever I think like evote something up or whatever, but I couldn't end turn. I couldn't swing again or whatever it was. Or maybe I didn't have an end turn Marcus Agu. Maybe that's what it was. I didn't have one of those because I would have been able to still swing when I passed turn. Anyways, I don't know what it was. Anyways, at this moment.
I think that was your pass turn. I think that was your pass turn swing.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Okay. That could have been what it was. And I just lose. I was like, well, I can't do anything about this. The other thing I could have done to prevent me from losing, besides trying to go attack game, clear this board, and go for game, because I had it in hand, go into room mode. I can go evo into the room mode and then neg 5 to the board and pass turn that way. Or I probably could have been able to just evo it for free, swing with that room mode, do neg 10 on board, and he just couldn't do anything on his following turn, and I just win the following turn after that.
Right.
So there was ways I could have done it. I just blindfolded and just didn't pay attention. Like, it was basically what it was. And then game 2, I bricked. I think
game 2 was like the 5 minute round. Like, I had everything. I was like turn 0, reduction Schumann in the back, emblem. I'm ready to pop off. Like,
because I remember looking at my hand. I was like, yeah, I got nothing good. I think it was one of those hands where it's like I had the whole line, but I had nothing else, and I think that's what it was. And I was just like, yeah. I looked at his board because he had the emblem in training. I was like, he's doing his combo. I was like, oh yeah, you just won. Let me just go eat. Because I have food already. I had food already on the side. I was like, I'm gonna just start eating. And like, let me know when I need to do something with my board, and I'll do it real quick.
Yeah,
so I ended up doing that.
Yeah, I remember.
I checked all the security.
I remember you had climbed into the Shine, and then I was like, all right, do all my stuff. Central, negative million. I just put it all in the trash for you because you were like mid bite. I was just like, I got you. These are all garbage.
I don't even remember if I actually went into a Shine. I think it was a Rise Greymon.
Something you had a stack on the board. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah,
but.
it was like a bad, like you know, back in the day in BT13, that stack might have been all right. You know, that type of hand would have been all right. Sure. But like in today's game where you don't have a training or a boost and your opponent has emblem plus a training, and that deck especially, it's just nothing I could do about that. And I would need to be able to go hard drop a rise, go into shine, and then go into room mode all in that same play and have multiple Marcuses to Evo.
Yeah, Puppets
was not the type of hand I had.
Puppets is just insane.
If you don't have if you don't either have a very strong defense of that deck or instinct clapback, you just lose immediately. That's why like TS can do things with it, because TS can go, all right, you smacked me up real quick. You have 1 million tokens. You have all that. We'll drop a Neptune on. Let's clear your board, and you just have the Central. And now you have to deal with potentially a Neptune blocker or whatever, depending on what the situation of the game is. Like you have a lot of things you can deal with it. And same with other decks. I'm sure Styraka could deal with it, because Styraka goes, you made a bunch of tokens. Great. That's my protection now. DP deck still matters though in that situation. But like, there's things you can deal with it, right? Same comes to find out, Millennium has a pretty good matchup into Puppets. I don't know if it was just that day or something, or in general, but like the good thing about that situation, because what Central does, I don't really have a wide board. So your puppet making, your token making is not as crazy as maybe, you know, playing against TS, where TS can make a wide board and you just go, haha, let's make 10 tokens instantly, or, you know, a Diaboromon match or something, you know, something stupid and along the lines of that. And so it kind of confines them in a sense. And then it's like, all right, they probably will pop off. Do you have the clapback? Do you have the Millennium? Do you do the loop shenanigans and like clear most of that board? And if you do, you're probably in a good spot, because now they use all their resources in that one play, and now they have to rebuild, and it might be a little slower for them to be able to do that. That's the thing I heard. I think it was Kurova that said it. The deck is a super glass cannon deck. Like if you have the out to it, you probably got it. But if you don't, I just killed you in 5 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, Puppets is insane. It's like, it's very susceptible to Digivolve, which is why Millennium is really good into it, because you Digivolve 2, now it doesn't have protection anymore, so you just kill your Millennium, play the new one out, and get rid of the stack now, no problem. And yeah, if you don't get multiple either emblems or multiple Schumann searchers, since all of your effects are like, most of your effects are play from the hand, you can end up dumping your hand onto the board, and then if your board gets answered, it's like, now you're scrambling. You don't really have the pieces you need to make a comeback sometimes if you didn't find enough searchers on your climb or whatever. So that's like another weakness of the deck. What else was I going to say? Something about Millennium. It's just a speed game. Like, if you can get the OTK off really fast, great. Millennium just can't set up fast enough to deal with you, but a lot of the times Millennium's turn 0 is like rookie in the back, play the thing that gets 2-3 cards in trash. Now next turn I'm gonna have 3 cards in trash. It's like turn 2, turn 3. If you didn't out me, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna empty your board and set up a Millennium or 2, and now what, sort of thing. I've been thinking about some what's the word I'm looking for, some techs for it. I know I'm on the one of Namakemon, which when that comes up, it's very effective, because now Millennium just goes for the pop, and then you protect yourself and you no longer be digivolved. I'm also thinking about throwing back in, I've seen it in some lists, the newest Sistermon CL, the on play pop a 4 cost, and then when she suspends, de-digivolve something, because when you alliance, you just get the de-digivolve, and now all of a sudden it's a machine Dramon that's probably DP neg to death. You don't have to worry about anything anymore. So that's a possibility. The deck space is like very solved for like the major pieces, but there are like just a number of spots where you can like mix and match and find your favorite puppet to throw in. I'm on a spicy one of Pumpkinmon. He didn't come up at all, but he can DNA with, as long as you have 2 4s and one of them is the Kokeshi, that meets your DNA requirements. So sometimes you just need that one more swing, and that gets you there, since you're going to end up spitting out 100 puppets anyway. He didn't come up. But man, whenever I search him, he goes in my hand. Like,
It's essentially like a chimera for game type of thing.
Basically, but it's actually searchable,
Or
which is very valuable.
Or even if for whatever reason you have double champion on board, but you have no real ultimate, you can at least DNA into that, and then you climb into your central.
Yeah, you could do a situation where like I raise rookie, Evo, Kokeshi plays Mirai or whatever, and if you had another Mirai on field, you can bottom decker to play your other 4 for 1, the Shushu, and now you have the the DNA, and you can go from there. So it's just an alternate line. It's not great. You don't want Pumpkinmon in your main stack because you don't have your protection. But he does do on deletion recover 1 in inherit, which is funny. So possible idea. It's a fun little tech, but long locals chat today, but that's okay. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. That's I think real quick to the puppet point. The one thing we mentioned about puppets, I think the reason why we're seeing puppets being one of the best decks in the game right now, not even just Liberated, is because they accidentally gave them double lines. So you have your main line from the novel, not from the novel, from the comic, and then you have the side one from they gave a whole line for Mirai. Comes to find out, Mirai is just a better support than is Orisa, so you might as well just mix match them together, and you get this super crazy, efficient ass puppet OTK style deck that you potentially have. And mind you, if you don't have a Central, cool, we'll go into Kaguya, and now we have a wall that you gotta deal with that's probably that's stronger defensively than obviously Central is for that aspect, and then potentially win the next turn after that. Deck is just kind of crazy right now, and it feels like it when you play against it,
for sure,
if they have it.
It's really cool from a lore standpoint too, because like the lore in Liberator is that Mirai does not play Liberator. She does not play the card game. She just has a Digimon. Like she's like, I don't know if you've ever played an MMO, like you're the kind that I don't want to go out and fight monsters. I just want to like trade items and like buy stuff and like do the mini games. Like I don't really want to play the actual game. I want to do all the side stuff. She's like kind of like that. But so like in the comic, she's like, hey, Orisa, I threw some of my cards in your deck. Like, go for it. And that's basically how it works in real life too, because like all of her stuff is like crazy busted. So it's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, it's quite dumb. Like a train, it's great because like a training plus an emblem on board equals a 3 to 6 for 0.
Yep.
And for the bare minimum, if your starting turn is legit a rookie in the back and an emblem, for 1 cost, you're going to a 3 to a 6, which is super strong. And you know, decks can do that, but Greymon X is still at 1. What a world we live in.
This guy. Wait, one more thing. I never got to tell chat
they
this.
Can do that.
I never got to tell chat this.
Go ahead.
I was so worried when they revealed Mirai and half of her line was purple that she was going to get killed off in the story. When we first saw Liberator, there was that splash screen that had like all the characters. I'm like, I love this chick. I don't know who she is or what she does, but her fit is really cool. She got like the bomber jacket and like the helmet. I'm like, I love this chick, and whatever deck she is, I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna figure it out. And then we got the reveals and like, oh no, it's half purple. Oh no, she doesn't play the game. Oh no, she's the sister to the heroine. No, she's gonna die. And they didn't do that, so very happy about that, because I'm like, and then her effect is like bottom deck to play Orisa. I'm like, no, they're gonna kill this chick, but they didn't do it. They did not decide to go too dark with Liberator, thank goodness.
Yeah, no. That's funny as hell that you mentioned that. But that could have been a situation that would have happened, knowing what Purple's identity is in the game.
There was like so many flags going up in my brain, like, oh no, they're gonna kill my favorite character. And like Hanimon,
so funny.
Hanimon is literally, I don't know if you know this, Dan, he's designed after Japanese burial like dudes.
Yeah.
I forget what they're Haniwa. They're called Haniwa. So I'm like, dude, everything they're pointing to just wants to kill this chick, and they didn't do it. Thank goodness they didn't do it, because she's a sweetie. She's great in the comic and the novel.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yep. But yeah, pretty cool. Speaking of this format, we're in a new format. We're in 8001 now officially. We did have a regional that just happened. We'll talk about that in a bit and like go over what we saw. Puppets, for anyone, spoiler for anyone who doesn't know at this point, which they probably should, because shout out to KNT Elixir. They streamed,
great stream.
I forgot the word for a sec. They streamed that regional day 1 and day 2. Awesome job by them. Fantastic commentary as per usual from KNT Elixir. The self-proclaimed,
that man knows how to chat.
The yapologist himself.
Indeed.
I couldn't think of the word. But anyways, he's a fantastic commentator. He knows his shit. He knows what's going on, and that's what we love to see from commentators who commentate the game.
Definitely.
Just the knowledge that they should give to a person who's viewing doesn't know what they're necessarily viewing per se. Like, not necessarily you gotta talk like people are dumb, but like, you should know what's going on. And I love that aspect that he's knowledgeable about the game. So they did that. We'll talk about it in a bit. First thoughts on 8001, Gino.
Well,
what do we think? I love this set.
Me too, honestly. This is such a good set if you are new to the game or kind of new to the game, or honestly,
a returning player.
A returning player, it's great. If you are someone who kind of like me, I guess, who buys like 2 boxes and then maybe just buys the singles for just like a couple decks that you really wanted to make. This is a great set because boom, now you've got all these expensive cards, or that were expensive, that you can now fill out that maybe you only had 1 or 2 copies of and that you couldn't really build a deck around, or they're like really good tech choices. Like you got Ruin modes, you got Omnimon X's, you've got Gallantmon X's, and just like in spades. Like I think I opened 2 boxes at 8001, and I think I pulled like, all told, like 8 different cards with Gallantmon in their name. Like that's awesome because they're all like very playable good cards, like between the secret and the promo and the X, and the new Gallant is kind of cool. It's really cool. There's so many good cards. It's just head and shoulders way better than RBO1. That set was a travesty. There's so much RBO1 sitting in my bulk box that I shuffle through all the time that I'm just like, cool, man. I've got 48 copies of Jack Raid. Like, I think this is an awesome set. The only thing that sucks about this set, you're going to hear it from everyone, is that if you are looking for the new cards that are specific to this set, buddy, your singles are expensive. Aldemon's like $25 a pop already just for regular art. Like, I hope you have a nice community of dudes who want to trade all the stuff, because otherwise you're going to be shelling it out, because the pull rates for the new stuff is not very good.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the best, but you should have expected it going.
For sure.
For anyone who's complaining about 8001, we knew what type of set this was. This was mainly a reprint set. Say it with me, guys. Reprint. That's why it's a 196 card set. Like, your majority is gonna be that. And on top of that, they gave us half a box than per normal. They gave us a Japanese box basically for, cheaper than your normal. Let's play that. Yep. So, showing it right there.
They're so cute. I love them.
It's a nice box. They are, in comparison to what we normally get. It's pretty cool. I actually like the sense of the Japanese packs, because they feel different than our normal packs, and they're way easier to open.
Yeah, because they have opinion. That
I don't know about you.
At the top
they have the whole exactly, so it gives you an easier leeway to rip and whatnot. And so I think it's pretty good. Set is fantastic. Look, cool thing about it as well, you get rarity bump for all your common and uncommons, which is fantastic.
Yep, everything.
You also get rarity bumps for rares as well. If you get the gold border cards, you're able to pull those. I just think in general it's a cool set to open for the right price. If you're a locals that's selling them for anything over $100, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, that's
like straight
that's
up. Like,
nice.
No, I'm not gonna call out no stores. I heard about certain stores doing it. I'm not gonna call them out or anything like that, because that's not what we do here. But you shouldn't be selling this product at $110. This is MSRP is 75. Like max should be $80. Like realistically, like, and I know you get them at cost stores. I know what that cost is. It is way cheaper than $75. You tell them you can't make a real profit and you have to spike it to $110, especially in today's economy. Like that's kind of crazy, especially for a set that's not even a full box compared to our normal 24-pack boxes. I just think it's crazy in that aspect of it. Like that should not, that's criminal. Almost, it feels criminal to me.
I agree.
Like, and if you're a player and you're at those shops, you should talk to those people. Like, just don't be okay with, well, I guess I have to do it. Like, you need to talk to them because like there's gotta be something going on here. Like that's just crazy to me that people are willing to still buy at that high of a price. I think it's crazy, but hey, you know, I'm not a shop owner, so I don't know those side of details, but I think it's just crazy. And it's not right for the community as well for a reprint set, at least.
Yeah, it's
got a half a box of a reprint set.
Right? It's gotta suck to be like, I have one shop in my area and it just so happens to be the shop that jacks prices. Like I feel for those people who really don't have any other choice but to either order them online and then wait for them to hopefully come in whenever they come in, or buy them at inflated prices. So that's gotta suck.
But besides that, if you're getting them for, I would say a good range is, you know, 70 to 80.
Yep.
80 is the max, I think. 85 pushing it, and after that, I don't think you should spend your money on that, because that's just not fair. Lucky for us, we have a goated locals, and our shop was selling them for 70 a pop. And I was like, all right, I gotta buy a couple of these. I was gonna buy like one or two, depending on the price, but I was like, let me get 3. And again, another cool thing is the shop that I went to for as in Wilkes-Barre, Sword and Stone, they were also selling them for like 75. Fantastic, great. I had no problem buying this product in that aspect, and hope I pulled the good cards. Comes to find out, my like 3-4 boxes I bought was busted because everybody's complaining, yo, I didn't pull this, I didn't pull that. I was like, oh, I pulled that. Oh, I pulled that. Omnimon, I pulled that. FM, I pulled that. What else? Pyojimons, I pulled all of them. I pulled all probably a lot of better AAs in the set, like Galamon and Omnimon, because my Omnimon's pulls were the AAs of it. It was just a lot of good pulls, I guess. And then the gold, some of the gold stuff I pulled was pretty good. I got the Protoform gold, Elijahmon gold. It was you know, I thought it was crap at first, but I was like, comes to find out, it's like a $15-16 card, which just ain't that bad of a pull if you're able to get in the teens for it. And all my reprints, I pulled like all the top-notch cards, like multiple Omni X's, the Ruin modes, the what's it called, Paladin mode, the promo Mastimons I pulled, and a lot of like all the top tier cards that you wanted to pull from this, I pulled. I heard some people saying like they didn't pull no Omni X's, no,
I didn't get it,
nothing. I'm just like, oof, that sucks. Or Yukin mode as well. I pulled multiple of those.
Same.
Downside, I pulled 2 Betelgeuse AAs. I was like, this is ass. But like besides that, I mean, those are money, so it's like, hey, you know, fuck it. But besides that, to me, that was like the worst pulls out of everything. Was I pulled those. But man, I've come to find out I pulled pretty good, and you know, I don't mind it at all. And I like to be able to max rarity decks as much as possible. So being able to get like, you know, Geo Greymons or commons that are now shiny is like cool. And you know, now I ended up getting 2 of the gold ones. I didn't think I was gonna get the gold ones, but I was like, hey, if they're in the shop, I'll grab them off of people, and I'll probably buy 2 more in the future. Not anytime probably soon. We'll see if those prices go down at all or not. We'll see. But pretty cool to see. Also got 2 shine AAs as well now. Pretty cool. For me at least. And I'm in the shine burst mode AA. So I was like, yo, I was hyped, you know. I fought with the set. I really like it. Cool. I think it's a good set.
You got the P Rise Greymon?
I also got that one, unfortunately, as well. But hey, you know, it's there at the shop. I might as well pick it up, you know? So, but yeah, I think overall, I think the people complaining about the set, it was just, they're complaining about the wrong things, in my opinion. Like, you should know what you're buying into. if you're buying in this expecting to pull every single good new card, that's not the thought process you should be. Obviously, for older players, that's what they want, but just go into it expecting what that, like, it's a reprint set. Like, don't be expecting it like you're gonna pull every single new card and call it a day, and you don't have to worry about it. You know, I just think someone is unwarranted. And someone once said, you're gonna listen to this one. You're gonna laugh at this one. I should say. Someone said RBO1 was a better set than this set, and I was like, you're smoking with something.
No shot.
Because that set was dog shit, straight garbage. That was the worst reprint set ever. Because they didn't even reprint anything good at that point. They reprinted a lot of old stuff that some of it needed to get reprinted. I understand, no problem, but they could have reprinted so much more than what they did, and they just didn't for that set. And it was just a bad set, in my opinion. The only thing that was worth value at this point is a Monzimon, and that's probably dead now because that deck is dead. So I was like, anything else is irrelevant. This set, I feel, will hold value. We have SP chases. Someone in our shop pulled the Imperial Digimon. They're sitting on a gold mine now because that went up in price compared to like yesterday. It's like 750 or something like that.
Jeez.
Stupid. It's crazy. Like, the amount went up. There's a lot of value in the set. So I think it's a good set to scoop up. Buy one or two if you're an older player, and then buy singles if you want. But just be warned, these singles are a little bit pricey because of the type of set it is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well said. I really want to see those calligraphy SPs, like the ones that look like they were painted.
Oh, those are cool as hell. Someone at Sword and Stone pulled one. They pulled a Gallimon. It was badass looking in person.
That's cool.
I like it.
I really want to see one of those IRL.
If he would have pulled a Shine, I might have been like, hey, we got some trades we can work out or something, you know?
Yeah.
Because I had pulled some stuff and all art and whatever that he wanted. But he obviously didn't. He pulled Gallimon, which I don't care about Gallimon enough to want to even try to get it off of him. But yeah, it was cool. And with 8001 coming out late for us, but early for everywhere in the world, Europe had their first regional of the set of this format with 8001 in Bristol.
Pretty exciting.
Cool thing about this, yeah, for sure. Let me share my screen real quick for the viewers at home.
Viewers like you.
Let's see. Yes. Let's go. Let's just go to the window.
And then let's go to the wall.
Yep. Here we are. Shout out to Eggman Events. They always put up the big events on their page. And for us, we can look at it and decipher the things. So this was a Bristol this weekend, legit, that passed. Obviously, Bristol April regional. First 8001. We got a good variety of decks. And we got some first timers as well, which is awesome to see. The obvious. We have 4 TS, 4 Medusamons, 3 puppets, 1 Hootie. Hootie's still a live deck. Ganku is not really a Ganku deck. We'll touch on it. It's more just Jesmon with Ganku. And we got Imperialmon. Imperialmon came back. 8001 helped so much that it brought back Imperialmon to the top 16. And we got Red Hybrid. I forgot, but we didn't even talk about Red Hybrid before. Red Hybrid got a huge boost in 8001. Now, obviously, so much so, this is another 8001 deck that made top 16. And Vortex finally came to the show.
Let's go.
They finally arrived.
Off fraud
a little
alert.
late. A little late to the party, but we finally got a Vortex top 16 that made it awesome to see. We can stop saying fraud alert. It's never going to do anything. It's finally done something. Cool to see.
I called it. I just want to say, last week, I called it. I said it takes the right pilot, but it can be done, and it has been done.
Yep. So as we'll see, first place was Puppets. Shout out to just kicking, I guess. I don't know. Second, TS. This is I think a Limbazoo style. We'll go into it more in a second with Jazz. Third place, Medusa. Fourth is TS. Fifth is TS again. Puppets at 6, and then TS again at 7, and CS Hudimon at top 8. We're gonna look at a post ban list. Hudimon, we'll take a look at it in a second. 9th is Puppet again. Medusa 10. Ganku. It's not. I don't know why they show Ganku.
It's a Jesmon deck.
It's really just Jesmon deck. We'll get into it. Then we got Imperial, which we'll definitely talk about. More Medusa, Savaga. We're definitely get into Medusa, and then Red Hybrid. I guarantee when we look into these Medusa lists, it's going to be the same list. So we'll probably look at like 1 or 2 of them and then just move on to the next. But first, we'll look at puppets.
The winning puppet.
I think
list.
This is what Gina was talking about earlier. Having a deck, having these tech choices in your deck. And
there's some good ones.
If you see something if you see something that's outlandish, it's there for a reason. It's very outlandish, but when we explain why, you'll understand, I think. As Puppet, enjoy yourself. What do you think about this list? You know,
this is good. This is important note here, just because you can't see it, is that all puppet lists are basically on the Nyaromon egg. This is basically what allows you to double overclock. Because you'll overclock passing at 1, then you'll use the Nyaro inherit to gain 1 back, and now it's your turn again, so you can overclock again. Very important. Every puppet list is on Nyaromon. There's no reason to be on the Kiara to get draws, because you really just want to win fast. Interesting here that we're on the Hanumon, because if that is the only rookie you open, that costs 1 on Nyaro every time, which is a little annoying. But this new Hanumon's really good. On deletion, you get to summon a Shumon out. It's kind of like an advanced version of the newest Shumon, because that one plays the familiar route. So this is kind of good. It's just, again, like we talked about in the local segment, it's another way that it's going to empty your hand, because you're going to want to play Shumons off of its effect, and then it's like, uh-oh. So we're on 11 rookies here. Then we've got every puppet list is going to be on 4 Shushu, 4 promo Shushu, and 4 Kokeshi. Those are like your main guys. Kokeshi to get Mirai out. And then, you know, Shushu is your secondary. Usually play it off Central so that you can get a real big wide board, or off Kaguya at the end of turn. This guy decides to go on the Namakemon to get the DP reduction protection and the Digivolve protection. This card is so important in the TS matchup, because Minervamon just ends your combo instantly if you get Digivolved. And so having Namakemon says, sure, go ahead. I'm just going to protect my stack and I'm good to go. Namake is a weird little flex spot, but because the deck, because Namakemon has to have 3 or more to get the relevant protection security. And since you're using Nyaromon egg, you're going to chip through. But the benefit is that the deck is so fast that by the time you're doing your big pop-off turn, you're not down to 3 security yet. So Namakemon is good and therefore I'm also on the Namakemon. And then we're also on the Sistermon CL to get just another little bit. One of the combo routes that they like to do is end on Kaguya. And Kaguya playing this out allows you to swing turn back again. Again, it's just trying to keep turns so that you can get double alliance on your Central. So that's 3 big checks. Not to mention, like, you'll probably have an inherit somewhere on your board that says security is -3, which is actually huge, because a lot of the times you're alliancing for like 15k, but then also security is -3, so there's nothing in security that will ever kill you. And in the very rare event that something would, you usually have barrier. Let's talk about Ragnalord. Why is this guy on 1 copy of Ragnalordmon Ace?
This is the most wild thing I've ever seen.
This is funny. I love this little tech.
Hilarious.
So the deck kills consistently from 4 security. You can do it with 5, but you need like a couple extra resources, a little more memory, which your opponent's probably not going to give you. So what you do is you do your whole big combo. You get 4 full checks. You swing it back. They're at 1 security left. You slam Ragnalord for 9, which says on play, trash your opponent's top security. And then you overclock for game. So you do your normal 4 checks, and then you just Ragnalord Ace. I don't know. I watched all the stream matches, and it never came up on stream. He always ended up bot decking it off of searches and stuff. So I don't know if it actually came up in tournament at all. I would love to hear if it did. But it's very, very funny. I've seen a couple lists that are on this
so
tech.
funny.
And then we're also on one Nyabu, which is really good because it has the lingering DP neg. It's the only thing that will last into the opponent's turn. So that's good against Vortex or other things that are immune for a turn. And then we're also on one Ruin mode. So if you're just unable to close out a game, I'm just going to lock you down for a turn. This is minus like Ragnalord and Hanimon and maybe Shine. This is a pretty standard puppets list. This is a really great list for you to start to build from. If you are a puppets enjoyer or want to be a puppets enjoyer, this is a great place to start.
You need 4 of this though.
100%.
That's the only downside.
You can run it at locals with 3. I did it.
3, yeah.
I have seen a list or 2 that's only on 3 of the narrative round, but I would go 4.
It's probably because they don't have.
They might not have it like me, like my dumb ass.
Yeah. The one thing you'll notice as well that you didn't mention, you're gonna see a lot of decks do this. They're gonna have like 3 to 4 trainings. This one's just only on 2. They don't need 4 because of emblem. But a lot of decks will have like 3 to 4 training, and then they're gonna have like 1 or even like 2 of this treadmill training or like whatever color it is associated to the deck. And why they're doing this card is basically a better version, a completely power crap version of the originals. Downside is like for this deck, you're never gonna have black, but if you open with this, you can just play it regardless because you just don't need to meet the color requirements. And then out security, it also searches as well and then plays security. So this card is just kind of busted in the sense of in comparison to the others. So you're gonna see like 5 total trainings or 6 total trainings a lot moving forward in decks.
Yeah, there's just power crop versions of normal training. There is the rare occasion that you may have Namakemon on field and you can play this, but
right.
But the other thing too, which is very interesting, is how many times have you been in a situation where you're like, man, I'd really like to chip with my rookie, but then I can't play my training because when it dies in security, I have no source. These trainings, if you have none of them on the field, you can ignore color requirements completely. So you can chip with your rookie, have nothing on field, and still play these trainings. There's just another way that these trainings have basically power crept regular trainings. You have to be a dual color deck to play basically more than one most of the time, but you'll see this as a one of. There was a bees list that was on both treadmill training and sprint dash training because it's black and green, so you can
you run it. Yep.
Number 2.
Now we're on to TS's the second place TS deck. You were thinking about ad blocker or like getting rid of his ads, but of course not. Anyways, it's kind of your standard like Mega Zoo style deck, really. You're gonna have a bunch of the Olympus 12s, and your low end is just a bunch of searchers with Aegeomon to play out your tamers for free. And then they're on a lot of options, which is kind of crazy. But it works for them, right? Being able to go into the Abyss Sanctuary Throne Room, play this out, play your rookies either for free or play your megas for a cheaper reduction. Pretty good. As you can see, 3 Minerva, 4 Neptune, and 4 Venus. This version is very more on the control aspect of it, which is pretty good. 4 Homeros, because Minerva goes, I play for free, and a turn, Homeros effect will use Minerva, play out your rookies to search. This deck is very standard of your Olympus 12 version. I feel like Mega Zoo version, I should say. I just think shout out to them that they got it, but like, man, I just feel like a Mega Zoo version, well, at least like one Digimon to be your bridge sometimes. It's just like oof to me, because like anytime I've seen it played, I've always seen it get cooked. So it's like, hey, maybe they're doing something better than any other person that plays it is doing. I don't know, but shout out to them because they cooked. Maybe the secret tech is running all these options, and that's what helps a lot. Still, regardless, still a really good deck
for sure. Yeah, these this Mega Zoo deck is actually shaping up, I think, to be the best version of TS right now. I think it has the most results. So yeah, like Venusmon is just an incredible lockdown. Neptunemon is great removal and protection, and then like Minerva, really good. It's really cool, honestly, to see Central Town here. And the whole reason for Central Town, honestly, is to beat other TS decks, because that extra 2k DP is so important in the mirror. Getting your Homeroses out and then getting the throne room. I don't know if it's in the top list. I didn't look at all the top lists yet, but I was watching a lot of the stream, and one of them's on promo Dan, because it gives you an extra 2 or 3k DP on one of your bodies. And it's really important in the matchup, getting just any little edge you can over your opponent. Really cool. Congrats to this guy running the 4 removal options and 7 free play options. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
But hey, if you have
pretty good effects, don't get me wrong. Shock Plasma is a really good card, right? Being able to next 6k for the turn, then you may link this card, and then you're able to go when attacking one of your opponents is going to get next 6 for the turn. Like, that's potentially a neg 12. Pretty strong, honestly.
And a lot of the times you're getting the effect twice. You're getting whatever the on play is and the link effect, because Dan and Cannon are letting you swing with whatever you link it to. So a lot of the times you're getting both effects, which is very strong. So, and obviously it shows, because this guy cooked.
For sure.
Congrats.
Next we got is 3rd place Medusamon, name is Bushi. We'll probably look at maybe another Medusa list, because Medusa's pretty like cookie cutter 50 card what you're gonna see.
Pretty solid
nowadays.
What is up with these lists, by the way? The last list had 48 cards, and this one has 49 cards.
I don't know. They sus. Maybe they're cheating low key, and they inputted 49 cards in the deck. I don't know, but yeah, I noticed that earlier as well. Yeah, I mean, there's not much we can really talk about when it comes to Medusamon, right? Medusamon is a great deck. It's a tier 1 deck. We know what it does. They're going to bomb deck your stuff, trash your security, gain memory, trash more security, swing for game, basically, you know, get a lot of effects when they progress, because progress is cracked. As you can see, what we mentioned earlier, 3 offense training and then 1 sprint dash training. This one is running a 3-1 split of it. Sprint, we mentioned before, sprint dash is a
power crept offense training
of offense training
or agility training.
So it makes sense to run it, right? They're running red men boost as well. 3 crimson blazes was crazy to me. 3 of them, you really need 3 of them,
right? I feel like it's a 2 of, but
I just want to say, you know, as a Millennium player, people think Crimson Blaze kills you. Psych. I ran through 2 of them in 1 game and still cooked. But it's not that scary for certain decks. I don't know.
And for other,
you gotta play it correctly.
For other decks,
I think you have to play it correctly.
Yeah, for sure. It's a knowledge. Like playing Crimson Blaze for 5 or 6 is probably not the play usually. But like against puppets, Crimson Blaze go crazy.
There's one thing I noticed as well.
There's
in this version that I'm surprised about.
Go ahead. Let's see if it's the same thing.
We're probably talking about the same thing. They are on all boosts and trainings, and you would think with that aspect they're running the Ukos, but they're not running a single Uko in this version.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That this is hyper consistency version, but no Uko, and again, notably, just like the winning list, no emblem. So
yep,
it's looking like people are not really caring about emblems.
You would think that's in tangent, hand in hand. All right, we're gonna have Ukos and no emblems, and then no Ukos and then emblems. But this one was just like, nah, to both of it.
Right, because Uko puts you in a weird spot where, let's say you're going second, your opponent passes you 1 or 2, and you have like Mem Boost in hand and Uko, you can't play both. So like, tell you what, that's where Sprint Dash training comes in handy too. Because if your only source is Uko, you can still play Sprint Dash.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Yep.
So that's something to think about. But I think it's really interesting that all these Medusa lists are not on emblem. When we first discovered that, I'm like, these guys are crazy. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. But with how strong EX11 Medusamon is, like, who cares about getting into Styraco a lot of the time? Sometimes you can just win a game by bullying with Medusamon. Like
that, but also Warp Lamia making a 1-cost Evo to get into your Medusas for cheap or Styraco. It's kind of crazy. I think the reason is because of this card. Realistically, like if this card didn't exist, where you're going to gain 2 memory back whenever you feel like it, they probably would run it.
Yeah, that card go crazy. That's like,
Yeah,
they have Eliza in the back and you swung into security to do a chip damage and it was Dimetro and it's just like, oh no, I'm cooked.
yeah, yeah, because you know they got one in hand and they're just gonna go into it.
And yeah, this security promo Dimetromon also,
yeah,
just like the winning
3
list.
of it.
Yeah, people are really liking this Dimetro. Yeah. I'm curious why. I mean, I guess just security.
Without security, it has progress on body because none of the others have progress.
But you're never swinging with this.
Thing. You're never, but like if you need to go raise this Dimetro from raising, swing, because that's all you can do. Go into Lamia for 0 technically. Yeah, this is a gain 1. So this will reduce the cost of this, right, by 1.
Yep.
So it becomes a 2-cost Evo. Then Lamia's effect, you place Tug, becomes a 0-cost Evo because you just gain 2. I guess that's a combo you can do. Like, something. And then you go into your Medusa after that, but then you're kind of wasted your swing. So I don't know.
Medusa enthusiasts, tell me why we're on this and not on Protection Dimetro. I want to know. Someone tell me, because I don't know.
They all have the same inheritables.
Right.
They all have the same inheritables.
Someone tell
That's
me.
what really matters at the end of the day. I guess security effect do be mattering at times. Next we got is 4th place TS. If this is the Olympus 12 version, we'll kind of rush through it. It's kind of isn't. This is the deck that Gino mentioned about running the promo Dan Yuki. This is pretty cool. We're finally seeing some of these promo tamers being used. This is a solid card, right? Start of your main phase. If you have 4 or less memory, gain 1. 4 or less memory, one of your Digimon gains 3k for the turn, which is pretty strong. 3k is crazy. And then one of your Digimon cards with the TS trait will be played by spinning the tamer, reduce the play cost by 1.
That also comes up
if
a
you
lot.
have, your megas become a 6-drop. That's pretty solid. That matters, right?
For sure.
Like instead of putting your opponent at 4, you can put him at 3, or you're at 0, you drop it and you put him at 6 instead of 7. That kind of matters at times, right? Pretty cool.
Yeah, and these Megazoo players love to do like Abyss Sanctuary Throne Room and then play Venus. That gives you still 1 more reduction off of that, which is nice.
Yeah, true. Very true.
This one has a little more
noticeable
connective tissue. Go ahead.
Yep, has 4 theaters, so you have better searching, obviously, with all these other rookie searchers plus AGO blocker, which is surprising. I guess we're going a little defensive. This is actually a way more defensive build compared to like the last one, right? Because this is on 4 Minerva, 4 Venus, and then only 2 Neptune.
Right.
I guess that works. I mean, I don't know, like how you winning? I guess you're winning by swarming the board and then telling your opponent, if you can't out, does I just win after a while? Which is cool, I guess, because they obviously did well. I'm surprised only 2 Neptune at this point, right? You always see, I feel like a 3 or 4 of at times, and in comparison to just 2.
Right. Yeah.
And obviously the other no. Crimson Blaze, which came up in a number of this guy's matches. He used it really well against Puppets. I think he ended up losing anyway to that Puppets. I think that was the winner Puppet player. I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, I mean, a couple interesting ideas here. This one, I don't think our previous... Hold on, I'm gonna pull this one up real quick. I don't think our previous one was on Asuna, was it? Because they were just on... Oh, no, they were on Asuna. I believe not.
No, they were.
Oh, no. Okay. They were on both, right? Heroku as well?
No, just Asuna.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind.
I guess 3 Asuna is the sweet spot. I don't know why I missed it in the last list. But I think the idea with this Aegiomon is just to have another blocker out in case Minerva gets removed, or...
True.
It's also like... I don't know, if they have a Digimon that's immune to your effects... and the last check is Abyss Throne Room, you can't play Guru to suspend something. But hey, I can play Aegiomon to get my last block out. So I guess that's probably the idea. I don't know. When I see promo Aegio, I'm like, I wish this was any other card. but
yeah, right.
but hey, if they like it, I mean, they obviously made it work. So congrats to them for their
If it works for them, it works for them, right?
4th place finish.
Yep. Next we're gonna look at another TS. Cool thing about a lot of these TS decks, sometimes they are a little bit different. We got the version I think is the better version in my opinion. Where you have the Sylphie DNA style, you're popping off, you can go aggro whenever the hell you feel like it, and you just win, right? Yep. You do so much damage on board with your ability to go into your defensive megas as well, as you can see. Or in this aspect, you go Neptune, unsuspend, swing again, and you just do 4 checks. If you have this on board, you can alliance and potentially do like 5 checks or something, or 6 checks technically.
Yep.
5 checks, yeah. It's just strong, right? Very strong in that aspect. Cyclomon as well, pretty good. I think this is a good list.
I like it. It's like you said, it's got the connective tissue here. We can climb up if we don't want to just slam our megas for 7. We are also curiously on the one of old Venusmon to turn off my opponent's decks for a turn. I wonder how this card has been coming up, because I've seen it in a couple lists, but I never see anybody talk about it or play it. Like, I don't know. 1 Hiroko, 1 Asuna.
To me, that's an example of fraud watch. I just think it's cool, but like there's so many ways to deal with it nowadays that it just doesn't matter.
Especially other TS decks. Other TS decks just remove this like it's nothing.
Right.
It's just
hard play, cool, GG.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Cool list though. I like this list. I wish that Venusmon was Marukimon. Then I would really mess with this list, man. if we got the one of Maruki for game, I'm all about it. But no, congrats to this guy for 5th place. We've kind of talked a lot about TS, and we're going to do it a little more. So another puppets.
Oh yeah. Next we got is puppets. This one is a
was
little
very
bit
interesting.
You're gonna see something very specific, Ukomon, right there. So this goal is to get your opponent down to the 4 and then OCK after that. It's kind of like your magnetic strategy where you want to get to, or even Styrako, you get them to the 4 security with the Uko, turn 1, and then chip damage, and then the next stack is going to deal game at that point because they're going to go to 4. No shine, no no rack decks, no cute text. There's just aggro as AF.
I would say Ukomon is a cute tech because, like, who's running that other than this list? It makes perfect sense because the OTK is very consistent from 4. So the only trade-off is that he's only able to fit room for a single training, which of course is the treadmill training. So that's kind of the trade-off. But as you can see, he has other ways. Like, that's why he's on 2 Sistermon CL, so that he can get just more extension. Really cool list. Like, I don't know if it's for me, but I understand the vision. Like, it makes perfect sense, and it was working very well for him, obviously.
Clearly, yeah, for sure. Next is another TS deck. This one is a little bit different. We got Gomamons in this one versus the other searchers, which is pretty interesting. Gomamon, at least as an inheritable, is pretty solid because if you have 7 or less fewer cards, you just draw one.
Really nice for the early game.
Others are Demi-Devi. Demi-Devi is a draw 1 trash one, and then the Patamon is, I don't remember what the Patamon's inheritable is.
-2 on attack.
Okay. In TS slop decks, we like to call it probably irrelevant effect, but it's better to draw, so it's a good thing, you know, to have it. As you can see, the Sylphie combos we were popping off, we're doing things pretty cool. Crimson Blaze again, because you know you got your red source and Dan and Yuki that's gonna be on board.
Yep.
4 homers. What's interesting is the change from like the start of BT24 into now, where we're seeing homers being used a lot more frequently at a higher number than it was previously. Because it felt like back then it was like people thoughts on it was like, we'll go 2 to 3 max. Now it feels like it's
3 to
4 max. Yep. In comparison, because people realize like go Minerva, play the home rolls for free, and then do that combo that we mentioned before, and then it's always live. Like whenever you drop a Minerva, you can drop another one, and then it's like I got two of these on board, and it's just like spirals out of control when that happens. It feels like, and it's just like you're in a very losing position if you're going against that when they drop multiple for free.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the TS, a lot of TS just kind of spiral out of control. They just keep building a board and removing your stuff, and then they go for game all in one. It is the thing with the Digimon trading card game right now is that security is so scary because there are just so many really good resources that can come out of there that will just end you the game next turn. If like that's why a lot of these decks they don't want to chip, or they just want to chip one and then OTK, because just going like I'm gonna do 1 damage turn 1 and then I'm gonna do 2 damage turn 2, like that's not gonna work, because you're gonna start giving resources and then your opponent's gonna crack back real hard. So a lot of decks you'll see are just leaning into this. I need to either win from 5 or win from like 4 and hope that first check was a wimp. Like,
yeah, you need to have that ability to have that, and if you don't, you're kind of in this weird position. And or I've seen like you got to be able to do like the 4 or 5 damage immediately, and then all right, can you deal with this? No, I win the following turn.
Yep.
Because if not, then they can just abuse those resources potentially, and just win after that. Like you don't want. The thing is, you either want to do 1 chip, all of it at once, and tell them deal with it, or just OTK. Like there's no in between. You don't want to go like, all right, let's do 2 damage here, let's do 2 damage there, and then it's just not it's not a good position when that happens. In this game, it feels like.
Yep, I call it the Jesmon effect, where a lot of decks are like, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of checks and I'm gonna make a giant board, and if you can't answer it, I'm just winning next turn. So it feels like a lot of decks are doing that these days. Hootie, this is very exciting because Hootie-amon.
Ew, exciting?
No, it
this
is.
deck is supposed to be dead.
No,
it's not dead.
I love when a deck gets hit and someone still tops with it. I think that's really cool. I love when people stick with the deck that they love and make it work. And yeah, you can see the loop is dead. There's no CS rookie, no Terrier, no what was the other one? Palmon. None of that. We're playing Hootie-mon trait cards, which is awesome, and how the deck was supposed to be in the first place. So,
besides this random Pyocha one,
okay, let's not look at that card too closely.
Okay, cool. Besides that, yeah, he just mentioned before, this is like you're more realistically moving forward. When you see Hootie-mon, expect this probably exact 50 almost. With a few different things here and there. You're going to see a lot of the options. You're going to see a lot more of these tamers like Keisuke, Erica being a higher number. And surprisingly, Chitose only had 2, which is kind of crazy.
But it makes sense because Hootie's not doing the loop anymore. You don't need to see Chitose and do that. Like, it's nice to have, but it's not a requirement anymore to loop off and win. Like,
ironically, this deck is still very, very strong. If they do 1 chip damage, they can also OTK you from 4 nowadays. They have the ability to just go, especially in this version, as you can see. The reason why you want 4 Erica is because you can evo your Hootie-mon over, and then you're able to go aligned, do double aligns, do 3 checks, and then you go DNA to Pyocha-mon, swing a spin, swing for game. That's legit the combo you want to do in this deck. Strong abilities to be able to do that is quite dumb when they do the pop off like that.
For sure. It's really good. I really like it. Honestly, whenever a deck gets too good, I stop liking it. I wanted to play Hootie in the beginning and I was like, oh, this is the deck. I don't care about it anymore. But now that it's hit and it's got a different like play style to it, you're not just doing the degenerate loop. It's pretty cool. So
I took apart my Hootie-mon. I don't ever plan to play the deck.
Cool. You can sell me.
I was so disappointed.
You can sell me those butterflies. I'll take them off your hands for you.
Yeah, I don't want you to have them. I don't want you to have them either.
Dan does not want to be ice archery and Comet hammered.
Yep. Next, we're gonna speed run the ones that we've seen already, and then we're gonna get talk more about others. We got puppets. Again, we kind of talk about what puppets does. This is pretty standard. What you'll see, you're gonna have the Namekian System on Seal potentially as your tech cards. Like, look at this: 5 trainings, 4 physical training, and 1 treadmill with the 4 unique. This deck is very consistent in comparison to the others. They probably had like unfortunate hands or something.
Well, when they're running 3 Central, that's crazy. That's a 4 of card, homie.
Yeah, that's true. True. They didn't see the OZK in time.
Right.
Next, again, another puppet. Another Medusa list is probably gonna be the same. This one got the Ukos and Grav Crush. We got here Grav Crushing again.
Grav Crush is back.
But the idea of this deck, like that, you see like 48, 45 cards are all the same. Basically, you're gonna see a lot of the same stuff. Ain't nothing really different in comparison.
Yep.
This one just has the Ukos, and yeah, really just about it. Next we got is Jesmon. This is really just Jesmon, not just Genku X. I don't understand why they named it Genku X, because I feel like when you say a deck is Genku X, you think about immediately like the turtle style version, and this is not what this is. This is a full-blown Jesmon deck with Genku as the partner and with some other shenanigans, as you probably can see right here.
I can see one 3-colored shenanigan staring right at me, man.
This boy Omnimon, the GOAT, the new Omnimon from 8001. It's the first 8001 card we're going to talk about in this top 16. This card is low-key broken. Like, it reads broken as AF. And in a deck that you can Evo and says for free, not bad, right? First off, as you can see, raid blocker. Partition does not matter in this deck because it's partition for specific names. But here's the cool thing about it, right? On play on Evo, return all your opponent's Digimon with as many or few Digivolution cards as this Digimon to the bottom of the deck, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So if you have balance protection, psych, you're still getting pop potentially. And then the alternative effect, this is probably realistically why they're running this, right? When any of your opponent's Digimon leave the battle area, trash one of their options cards in the battle area and trash their top security. That all turns card is a very, very strong card. As you can also see, it's all turns. So if this card is on board and your opponent does something and dies, guess what? You're popping another option and trashing another security.
Yes, it's
in a deck where. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's definitely an interesting tech here. Don't forget that you can also I think the big thing is that big on play on Evo effect and the fact that you can tuck it off Jesmon GX and trigger it again, which is really cool.
True.
So you've got that going for you. This is a fun list. I don't know if I would trust myself with this list. Like, I would rather just be on OmniX and just get my, my big OTK, more or less. But pretty cool, man. I'm a big Jesmon fan. You guys all know it. I've been testing around with it. It's one of the decks I'm toying with taking to regionals coming up in 2 weeks. And I love this. I love going back to that. I think it's what, BT10 or BT11 Jesmon X antibody. Really cool extender. I love that people are back on it. I love being back on it.
Yeah, cool card
for sure.
And the most broken thing about it, low key, this is a 0 cost over a 6. Crazy. When every other X antibody Digimon is at least a 1 to 2 cost Evo.
Yeah, it's really nice. And like, man, I love Jesmon. This is a cool deck.
Yeah, fantastic deck. Still never got around to play it myself, but I've always been a Jesmon player back in the day, or a Jesmon fan, I should say.
He's just a cool guy.
Cool deck. Next, he is. Next, we got our first 8001 deck that made top 16. Pretty awesome to see is Imperial Digimon. Well, let me rephrase. Awesome for the Imperial players, because I don't give a single F about this deck being back into the game. I've never been a fan of it. I hate playing against it.
Same, honestly.
It is what it is when it comes to the deck. Honest to God, this is the most expected ass 50 card deck you're gonna see on this list. Like, with the new 8001 stuff, this is like what you would expect straight up.
Wow, look at this guy playing 4 of all the good cards.
Exactly. Your rookies ain't never gonna change. Your champions ain't never changed. The cool thing about it is you're adding finally a good secondary DNA target in this new 8001 Pyodramon. This card reads really well, right? Obviously, you're gonna have the partition. Side note, you can also Evo over your guys for 3 as well with the black box. So that's something that the old one does not have. pretty good. On Evo effect, until your opponent's turn ends, Digimon can't be by battle. So pseudo jamming. And Madison Vortex, at least, right? They can block or force the battle, but you won't die, which is actually pretty important if you ever run to that matchup. Then if DNA Digivolve and this Digimon attack target can't change for the turn. So let's rephrase again, because I didn't finish the sentence before, right? Now Vortex can't block you. They can force the battle, I think, but they can't block you, which is pretty important. Or redirect you like Millennium could. We can't redirect you in that situation. Pretty good effect, right?
Definitely.
Then when attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Imperial Digimon in his name for the reduced cost of 2. So this allows you to go into your FM or Dragon mode for cheaper on attack. Pretty good.
Dragon mode for 1 or fighter mode for what, 3 or 2?
Yeah,
something like that.
And his choice of Dragon mode is the BT61. This is, if y'all remember,
Floodgate.
This is like the Floodgate one. When effect plays a Digimon, your opponent when an effect play or Digivolve your opponent's Digimon, if you have a tamer, the Digimon Digivolve into fighter mode in the hand without paying the cost, which is pretty good. Back in the day, we used to go to the why would I say we?
Not we, not you and me.
Yeah, they would choose the ace back in the day. The FM ace was cracked.
Still a good card, honestly.
Still a good card, but like a while ago, when you have this broken ass shit. First off, this one got a second attack +1 blocker. When attacking, return one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP Digimon to the bottom of the deck. That effect is not a you may effect, so it's mandatory. And that actually messed up my Imperial Digimon player that I played against, because he went to swing into my Shine stack and evoed into this, and then bot deck the Shine and lost out on the piercing checks. Yeah. Yep. And so always gotta remember that. So might as well just do what Imperial Digimon does. Put the helmet on and run into security. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you do, baby. Just run into security, because you're on bottom deck something anyways, unless it's can't be bottom deck or whatever. But here's the crazy part of this effect, right?
Another floodgate.
The floodgate effect gets even worse. When Digimon are played or Digivolve, this part of the effect can include your own FM as well.
Yep.
You may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and unsuspend this Digimon. Then, if played or Digivolve by effect, you may return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Fantastic effect. Honestly, this says no to your opponent using trainings while this is on board, unless they have some type of immunity. Like, it just does a lot. Even regular Evos, if you need to attack for a win, you can just suspend it, call it a day. You can't do anything. This card is just amazing, and it's super strong, right? Second attack +1 on it and unsuspend. So like, you do like 2 checks where you pick up Pyodramon, unsuspend to something to your Dragon mode. Dragon mode Evo to this, do 2 checks, unsuspend 2 more checks. That's potentially 4 or 5 checks right there.
I'm mapping this out in my head.
Strong ass card.
If you got Omni X, you can OTK with this, because you go.
Oh yeah, Omni X. Yeah.
You go old EX1, XV, get your 1 check jamming. DNA into the new Pyodramon, swing Evo into fighter mode. You get 2 checks and an unsuspend, another 2 checks, Omni X for game. I'm sure
you 100% can do that.
I'm sure there's more ways than that, but that's the one that jumped to my mind. Hooray. Imperial is back.
Yeah. And obviously the tamers, like, there's no other tamers for you to play in this deck, realistically. Like, you're gonna have your David Searcher, and then you got the David Ken, the most broken thing in this deck. And then 4 Primo, that's what got me the most. 4 Primo, they're like, yo, we want the protection. We want to make sure that we can Evo reduction as well. Card's fantastic. 4, a bit strong. And the only thing I would have said was, like, I probably would have removed 1 or 2 of these and put in like a Hammer Spark plus HPD.
There's 3 cards.
But like, because HPD is just broken, so like, why would you not play it? But besides that, pretty standard.
There's 3 cards we're missing here. I'm assuming maybe some of them are 4s, because there's no way this guy's only on 8 4s, right?
Facts. Yeah.
But
it's possible though. I don't know.
At any rate, Dan and I may be haters, but congratulations to this guy.
100%. There's no maybe on that one. Next, another Medusa. Again, we're probably gonna speed run this. Yeah, this is your very standard ass Medusa list that you're gonna see moving forward. If you have the Uko or not, look at this, 5 trainings. What a world we live in that we can run 5 trainings in a deck now. Next is another newcomer to the top 16. We finally see Savaga,
my boy,
in a top 16.
I told you guys he could do it.
Gino's been playtesting a lot of this deck. He could probably talk more, explain how this works and what he likes and dislikes about this deck, because I've heard people talk about this deck.
This is a very, very interesting list. The cards. So what's interesting here is that I know 2 cards that are missing from this list are BT, 3 or BT1 Kokuamon.
Kokuamon, yep.
The green, he's a 4-drop or a 1-cost Evo that says if you're a level 6 or higher, you gain Sec +1. One of the big problems that people have with Vortextramon is that it's just not fast enough. Kokuamon speeds that up real fast. Now you got a very threatening OTK if you get into him. Now it's only a 2-of, so like if you see it, you see it. Great. It's getting bottom decked all your searches. You can't play it off any of your effects. This is a really, really interesting list because he is not interested in like the Grand Gale that warps and plays stuff, or the Zafaga that plays stuff. We're on 2 of the old protection Zafaga. We're on 3 of the old protection Grand Gale. We're on 2 aces. Like, he's still playing this like his old Zafaga and making it work, honestly. A lot of the new cards obviously are very good for the deck. Obviously, Vortextramon is a wall that could win you the game a lot of the time. So my man's just goes, I'm going to be immune every turn, no matter what Vortex, no matter what. If I'm on a 5, a 6, or a 7, I want to be immune. So, hey man, more power to him. The 3 emblem is a little crazy. I'm only on 2 emblem myself. He made it work. He made it work.
That he sure did. That was my biggest takeaway. Was I don't one of this.
That's
Grand
crazy
Gale is
to
just
me.
crazy to me. I guess he just did not care about making a wide board and doing things with them, which is understandable. I guess he's just like one stack pony. I guess that's what he wanted to be for this build. Very old school Zafaga, I feel like you mentioned before. That's kind of like what Savago used to be, right? You want to build that one stack that's big and bad and vortex over everything, call it a day, and have the immunity. But man, in today's game where you kind of want to build wide boards and do things with them and use them for party effects with the vortex, so you don't have to force your own vortex to suspend itself or whatever. I don't know. It's very odd to me, especially since he's a warper as well. But it's not like he's not a warper.
Right.
It's an interesting choice, but hey, it worked out for him perfectly. I wonder if it also came down to like people were just not expecting vortex anymore already, and he just cooked them in that aspect.
It's possible. I mean, kudos on him, man, for getting it done.
Yeah. 2 more lists we gotta talk about real quick. Medusa. Yeah.
That sure is a Medusa
identical
list.
to every other one. Yeah.
I see the one, what is that, BT24 Medusa? That's nice. A lot of these lists have just completely forsaken her. And are just on the new one.
From what I've seen from a lot of these lists, it was like 4-1.
The topping one was just 4.
A couple other ones had the 1-of. Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the other ones had the 1-of. I think it's still a good card. It's just this one is just broken in comparison.
Busted, yeah.
It's just dumb.
Medusa, good job.
And finally,
exciting.
we got our second actual 8001 deck, which is awesome to see. Is Red Hybrid. Red Hybrid got a huge boost, and this version is spicy as AF because Lord have mercy, these level 6s are crazy to me. I can tell this list is missing the 8001 cards, it looks like, because they don't have the
not all of them though,
I guess.
Tamer's there.
But we do have the option though. We do have the Tamer, yeah. So let's go into the Tamer because we can't see the Alderman on here. Maybe we'll put it up later. This card is broken. For anyone who doesn't know,
so
especially in a deck where you're making you have the variety of colors. Obviously, you see in the deck with the Kumamons, I I think he's running. Is it just?
He's heavy on the blues.
Oh, he's running the Kazimon.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's running all three, but heavy on the blues. I also
don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if they have it and they just don't see in this because for some reason it shows 42 cards. Like,
I think he was on the Zephyrmon. I think he was on a couple copies of the Zephyr as well. But
yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, this card is crazy. First off, starting your main phase and on play, you may place up to 2 hybrid trade cards with different colors from your hand or trash under this tamer. If it's effect place, you draw one. Cool. So now you get a way to just keep drawing every turn to fill up your tamers. Then if there are 4 or more hybrid trade cards on this tamer, gain 2 memory. So essentially this becomes, after a while, a mem setter. If your opponent puts you at a 1, you're going to be starting at 3 guaranteed. If you have 2 of these on board, if they put you at 1, you're starting with 5 memory guaranteed. And it just kind of like spirals out of control in that aspect. And it's just very strong. And no matter what number they put you at, your opponent puts you at, you're just in a good spot no matter what. Yeah. And then it has a good inheritable as well. By attacking with this Digimon, the hybrid 10 warriors gains second attack +1, and we all know red hybrid loves to gain second attack +1 and swing at a big number.
I don't know what cards are missing from this list because obviously we don't have the full list. Obviously we know 4 Aldemon are in it, the new Aldemon, but I'm wondering if he was on the Strabimon at all because a thing that I've been seeing is
I've seen some lists play that. Yep,
you put the Strabimon under so that you get the Takuya, the triple tamer sec +1 and then snap memory back. So now you got your end of turn sec +1 swings, but now that boy keeps sec +1, and if you go into like the newer Emperor that gives you an unsuspend, now you can go in again at some more damage, like potentially depending on what your memory situation is looking like.
So this is the one you were talking about with the newer Emperor. This is the promo one. So it says on Evo, delete one of your opponent's Digimon as much as DPS is. All turns, this Digimon gains +1k for each color, and at the end of your turn, this Digimon unsuspend. So that's what Gino was mentioning when it comes to the end of turn effect, to be able to snap back, do another end of turn effect, and go from like all Aldemon into this, and then like pop off even more.
One Emperor Greymon in a red hybrid list is like what's the word?
Asinine? Like,
not asinine. Crazy. What's the word I'm looking for? Like sacrilegious. Like, come on, where's the Emperor? Especially when I feel like the other one is so good. But
yeah, I agree.
But hey, this man said,
let's talk about the other list, the other cards right here.
Yeah, my man said, I'm gonna be on Aldemon, and then I'm gonna do everything with Aldemon, and then I'm adding on one of these floodgates. Like, I'm either turning off
essentially what he chose.
Yep, I'm either turning off your ability to play or Evo or move, and that's what we're doing. So, hey man, I'm low key kind of crazy smart, right? Just be able to do
3-4 checks. I don't know how many you can get with the Aldemon by itself, with like depending on the stuff in the inheritables. But you just do 2 to 3 checks probably at a big number, and then you go into one of these bad boys and just go, you can't play the game, and then the final turn you capitalize on that, right? Like, I think it's kind of smart. It's kind of crazy. Like, this is the first time these 3 are in a single deck like this together. Like,
yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, the deck is really good. That triple tamer, you talked about the power of it, but one thing that is insane is hitting that out of security is a death sentence, because it on plays tucks 2.
Ooh, yeah.
And then start a main phase, you tuck 2 more, and now that's your +2 memory. Like, that card
you're
is
guaranteed at that
busted point. And the fact that Aldemon can go over it when you only have 2 tucked means that you don't even need to get the full 4. Like, it's awesome.
And what's crazy about this in combination with this Takuya as well, I believe. I think this is the one that
right. So make sure that you don't get
with your red tamers with different names.
Yep.
So it's kind of crazy when you can have that.
Yeah, make sure that you don't get
in combination with this.
People who are playing it or playing against it, make sure you don't get goofed. That tamer is just one name when it's by itself, okay? You can't sit there and say, I have this Takuya and I have the triple tamer and that's 4 names. No. That's 2 names, okay? Because you've got 2 tamers. Yeah. But if you have multiple of that tamer
multiple of those,
then you go crazy because you say, okay, this tamer's Takuya, this tamer's Zoe, this tamer is Tommy, and this tamer is all 3. So like you can get into whatever you want very, very cheap. And again, that's why I think Old Emperor is very good, because you can use your effects to stack enough things underneath, and then it's like a 5 cost Evo, but that Takuya is going to make it real cheap. And obviously you still have your standard memory setter, Takuya and Koji. That's another 3 names for you. Probably 2, because you probably already have a Takuya on field. But that can be a Takuya, it could be a Koji, or it can be a Takuya and Koji. So really cool. We're also seeing this guy who I thought Red Hybrid was completely gave up on. That very first card in the list, Dan. The Flamemon that says main phase, play a Tamer and tuck me under. That's really cool. It's cool to see this card coming back, because I thought Red Hybrid was like, nah, I just want to do damage and we'll go from there. But with how good the new Triple Tamer is, this is a 4 of now.
Yeah, playing that for free, because this still plays it for free.
Yep.
Yep, from your hand while paying the cost. Kind of crazy, yeah. Never thought I would see this card be played like that.
Yeah, it's
at a 4 of as well.
Yeah, super cool. I love it. I love this.
There's got to be more rookies, right? Like than just a 7. I feel like it's got to be another one.
Well, there are 4 cards we're unaccounted for, because you're at 4 Alderman, so that puts us at 46. So whatever those 4 other cards are, I think at least 1 or 2 is Zephyrmon, maybe.
Maybe
the Strabbies, maybe Ukos. I don't know.
It's possible. But yeah, that's for the top 16 for this 8001 set. I'm excited to see where we go. We still have a whole month of regionals that's going to be... Oh my God. Stop sharing. We got a whole month of regionals coming up as well in the US. Let me rephrase. In NA, we got the one that we're going to in Virginia. We also have the online one the same weekend in what's it called? Carta Magica is hosting one on that Saturday, and then Sunday is in Virginia. So that's in 2 weeks, I think it is at this point.
Yep.
2 weekends. Excited to go. Excited to see what gets played, and that I wouldn't be surprised moving forward we see Shine as a top 16 list possibly. Only downside, I know the downside of it, and sometimes it's a little fragile, but if people keep messing with it, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it as one of the 8001 decks, and or like Adventure Ping Pong. I've been low key talking about this in our groups.
That deck looking is pretty crazy.
That deck is kind of cracked. Being able to like bounce back and forth, and it's all basically free because of the tamers and all that shenanigans. It's kind of crazy. So definitely excited to see what pops up. Hopefully one of us are making the top 16 so we can talk about it on pod. We'll see when that time comes around. With that being said, any parting words, Gino, for the listeners, the viewers, the audience at hand?
Nah, everybody. I hope y'all take it easy. I hope you get every pull you want out of 8001. And I hope to catch you guys on the next video.
All right. With that being said, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Momentai.